What's going on? My name is Brandon Mullins, and in this video, I will show you how to make your very first Facebook ad from start to finish in 2019. Now let's get started. Alrighty guys, now showing you guys just straight from the start. So when you're in your desktop, we use Google Chrome. Google Chrome works really well with Facebook, highly recommended. So you're at your just regular personal page. Well, first thing you want to do before you can create any Facebook ads at all is that you want to make sure that you create your business page. So to create your business page, go to the top area over here. Oh, I'm sorry about that. And click create, go to page. Business or brand, community or public figure. We create a local business for the sake of this video. So create that, and we're going to do fix my mama back. Don't know, just use that. Category, you're going to add a local business or local service, doesn't matter. Put in some information. Now I'm just doing it fast just for the sake of this video, but yes, make sure you put in your address, make sure you put in your city, all that stuff, self-explanatory. It's very important. And then click continue. Okay, once your page is created, Facebook will tell you to fill in your profile picture and your header. That is very important. Do not skip this. Don't rush to just creating an ad without fully optimizing your Facebook page. So follow the steps they give you. Really upload a photo and upload a header. Now here's a tip, because Facebook has specific requirements as far as the measurements for the profile photo and for the cover. To make sure that it's completely optimized, you can go to Canva. And with Canva, you can go to create the design, and you can go to custom dimensions and put in dimensions that Facebook require you to do. Canva works really well. I will put the link to this website in the description, and it is completely free. Alrighty. Once you go through all this, it's very important to go to your about page also and just make sure that is completely optimized. Like, guys, really make sure this is optimized, because Facebook rewards you for having a very optimized page. Say, for instance, your competitor who you are bidding against with Facebook ad space doesn't have a completely optimized page, you will win all the time. And then you want to, but once all this is done, you're going to want to go back to create on this top corner right here, and you want to go to add. So create an ad. Alrighty, and once you're in the ad area, this is the bread and butter. This is where it basically takes you what your objective is. There are 3 objectives, or 3 basically funnels you can go through. Just in any marketing aspect, there's awareness, consideration, and conversion. Okay, awareness. Now I'm gonna say it's completely useless, but I believe you still should test it, because there are ways you can still get that awareness. So brand awareness, putting your page out there to as much people as possible. Just trying to get people aware. Reach, putting the same thing pretty much as much people as possible. The only thing is you can't really get as detailed as possible. You can, but Facebook really won't try to optimize for that purpose. And this is when you go to consideration. Now you have traffic, which traffic pretty much just trying to drive as much traffic to an outside source that is not Facebook. So for instance, a website or a landing page. So if that's your goal, then you would choose this. Engagement, to try to get as much comments and likes and shares as possible. This is really good when you're kind of first starting an ad or your brand to get social proof. App installs, if you or your client has a app and they're trying to get as much installs as possible, this is also a good one. And then video views, which is pretty much my favorite. If you guys don't know, most content that is viewed on Facebook is through video, and video actually has a 30% more higher conversion rate. So obviously, I highly recommend using video. Even if you're doing app installs or engagement or traffic, use video as your piece of content if you can. But test. Photos work well too. Everything I say, highly recommend that you test, because it may work for a different industry. And even if it does work for your industry, it may not work for your specific demographic. Okay, but video views work really well. It's a good way to get cheap conversion and leads. Lead generation leads people to a landing page, or you can create your own lead page in Facebook, which I highly recommend if you're on a budget, because it's free and it works really well. And messenger bots, which I use personally, a really good way to kind of build a personal bond with that specific lead and qualify them throughout the process. And then conversions, that pretty much the objective is to get as much conversions as possible. And then catalog sales, so if you have a product or e-commerce business that you're selling online, and you can sell that stuff, but make sure that the catalog, that your products are on your Facebook page. And then store traffic, driving traffic to your specific store. So for the sake of this video, guys, we are going to use video views, just because I like video views, and that's what I've prepared for. All right, now everything you want to make sure you name. So throughout the campaign, the ad account, the ad set, and the ad, you want to make sure you name all these just so you know what you're doing. What I usually do is the name of the page that I'm using and the overall goal, or the offer that I'm offering. So 50% off, and do it like that. You can create a split test. A split test is basically testing out the same ad and using one and changing one variable to see which variable does better. For instance, doing the same ad with all the same targeting and goal, but the only thing you change is the video you're using to see which video works better, or maybe a video versus a photo. I highly recommend doing that with your first ad, but I do not recommend clicking this just yet, because there's a better way to go about that makes it a lot easier. Campaign budget optimization. This actually works pretty well, just kind of depends. So you can select that. I definitely recommend you test to see which one works better. But yes. And then you set up ad account, because this is a new account. We haven't done that yet, and most likely you are dealing with that same situation. So time zone, that's not the time zone we're in, but yeah, the United States, your account country, dollars, a lot of stuff is pretty much self-explanatory. And then you're going to click continue. All right, and here's on to the good stuff. Now, once you get done with the objective, you select your objective, you are onto your ad set. This is where everything gets very powerful, because you're going to start working on your audience. Now, there are 3 different types of audiences. There is a custom audience, which is basically an audience you can take from emails you collected or numbers that you collected in the past, or people who interacted with your website, which I would talk about in a later video, and you can run ads towards them. That's really good if you're trying to run a promotion or trying to upsell old customers. And then there are a saved audience, which is basically what we're doing now, or just audiences from previous campaigns that you have saved. And then there's the new audience, which is basically, lookalike audiences, which you basically take all the data from a past saved or custom audience, and you run ads towards a wholly new group of people that are very similar to your past audience. Okay, and that works really well if you want to reach new people but save some money. And but right now we're going to create a whole new audience, and we're going to create it as a saved audience. So what you want to do is you want to type in the address. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to type in the address of, say for instance, the local business. Now I'm using a chiropractor business, so just type it in. If it's local, or whatever demographic area code you want to target, you would type that in. So this is so go down and then click that. North College Hill, Ohio. And for a local business, 10 miles works pretty well. I'm actually going to take it. You don't want to do 50. You can adjust the mileage, but for a local business, I wouldn't do 50. I'm probably going to do about, let's do like 8. Like, why not? Okay. And it's actually really powerful. You can do everybody in this location, people who lived in this location, recently in this location, people are passing by. It kind of depends on what type of business you run. So for instance, say your business targets tourists, you can do something like that. But we're going to keep it right here for now. And then age. So for this campaign, we're targeting athletes. So we're gonna do about 18 to, let's do 40. Gender, do all. Most likely when you're starting off, if you don't know, like, you know your customer best, so select whatever one reaches your customer. But if you don't know, you want to test things out, start with all, and then Facebook will tell you if women or men, reacted better to your ad. Language, keep it English. Don't even put in English. I just leave this blank because you would end up messing up with data that people put. Like they a lot of people speak English, but they don't put English into their like language or whatnot. All right, and then detailed targeting. Here's where all the money begins. Now, you can target people based on interest, based on things they've done. So, for instance, we're going to target athletes. So we're going to pretty much just put in people. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me manually type that in. Athletes. All right. So people who are interested in athletes. Now the reason we're doing this is because we're also going to be targeting like parents of these athletes. So it just works. And there, as you can see here, it shows you how people will be reaching daily. And this is also based on your budget and how broad or whatnot. It varies. Most likely will be more than what it says, but it just kind of depends. And then we're going to put in student athlete. But we're going to put in student athlete as a job title. People who actual student athletes who selected as a job title. And it's very powerful. Like when you go into here and you can browse demographic interests and behaviors, and you can even go to financial. Now here's something I really want to mention when I made this video. A lot of old videos recommend that you can target people based on the amount of income they're making. You can no longer do it as in depth as you would like. It's and like I kind of mentioned with the audience policy, you have to be very careful about that because Facebook would not approve your ad if it's kind of discriminating people based on income or based on race or sex or stuff. So be very careful about how you're doing it. If one trick that I kind of use is just doing it by zip code. So just look up zip codes with a certain income and use that zip code. Alrighty. Now, Now, and we also can put in, for instance, parents with teenagers, because that's why I put the 40, because we want to be targeting parents with these teenagers from 13 to 18. Now, actually, let's do 18 to 26. Yeah. Alrighty. And one last one I want to do. You can do so many different ones, but I just kind of, when I prepared for this video, I just put some that I looked up. So it's college grads. Now you can go pretty in depth with the demographics, life events, relationships, where they work at. You can go really, really, really deep. Okay, now here's where it gets powerful: is you can exclude people who are, for instance, a chiropractor assistant, or they had education. So exclude those people so you're not running ads to other chiropractors or people who most likely just won't be relevant to your ad. And you can even go deep. So say, for instance, you want people who, like, you're running a sale to people who, athletes who just recently bought something from Nike or who has something of Nike. So you can narrow it and say they must, out of all these interests and behaviors, they must at least have bought something from Nike Inc. or a certain product like a back pain pill or back pain product you can use. And that's where it gets pretty deep. And then you can do ad. And then when we scroll down a little bit more, you can go down to your Facebook page. So say if you want to exclude people who's liked your Facebook page, you don't want to target new people or people who have liked your Facebook page. And you select the page. I'm sorry. And yeah, obviously nobody kind of reached these parameters on my page, so therefore that won't work for me. But yeah, and then you can save your audience. Now, same thing with when I save my audience, I like to put the business, so BM. And then also, yes, I had some problems using the friction on my back profile, so I went back to my account for example, because it kept stopping me in the middle of my video. But if you guys just haven't noticed. But yeah, so I put the name, and I usually put the location or the zip code that I'm targeting, or in this case, the address. So 6527, and put whatever's simple but makes sense to you. But I highly recommend naming it just so you can organize it as efficiently as possible. And then I usually put the age, and if it may be some like huge detail, like just note that I didn't know about it. So for instance, athletes. All right, and save. Now that's a saved audience that I can use anytime I want. Now going on to placements. Now this is very important. Most people don't change the placements, which pro tip, always change your placements. I highly recommend that you turn off all of like these below feeds. Only run your ad in feeds, especially when you're starting off. In-stream videos work. What that basically is the ad while people are watching your videos. Those work pretty well too. But then again, test. It may be different for your specific industry or your demographic. Take off Instagram. I don't recommend running the same ad you're using for Instagram to Facebook unless you optimize the ad. But run it completely separately, so you can have the same copy and everything else, but make sure that the size or the resolution of the ad is different from the one you're using on Facebook, Instagram, because they have a wholly different parameter. Okay, and so yes, make sure that's there. You see we're doing pretty well with the reach and stuff. And then here's something very important: only when connected to Wi-Fi. Because say for instance you're doing a longer video, or you really want people to make a transaction. That usually happens when someone's at home and they have time to actually dive into the rabbit hole of what you're trying to give them. So make sure you select only when connected to Wi-Fi. Alrighty, and then the budget. Now here's something that's new, especially with video views. I'm actually glad I'm doing this video during this time. Is third play. So they're delivering your ad to try to get your videos completed. Works real with people with 15 seconds or shorter, but for longer videos they try to optimize it to play at least 15 seconds, but then at least more. So if you have a longer video, that works. A shorter video works pretty well as well. It's been working well for me. I've been using it. They took away the 10-second video view thing, as you can see right here, but the 2 seconds continuous video, that's if you're trying to get social proof, or your video is only 10 seconds, 6 seconds long, and that 2 seconds you think will capture their attention. But that all depends. Again, test it. But one thing I don't like about this is it's at least 50%, which, I mean, that works, but I want my video to be actually seen. And you can split up if you want to test it. You just want to do it regular. So say for instance, if your budget is only 20, you can do 10 of it. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to do it all with third play, and we're going to change our daily budget to 5. Okay, and I highly recommend whenever you're doing your budget, you do $5 when you're starting off your first ad, because you're testing to see if the ad works. And then as you get to see traction, you're seeing that this ad has actually worked and has a good conversion rate, or cost per lead, or cost per engagement or whatnot, then you can put more money into the ad. You can set a schedule or run your ad continuously. I think it depends. Some people say they set a schedule. I honestly don't like to set a start and end date, but I think it kind of depends. For some people it works, for some people it don't. If you fear you're going to forget about it, then set a start and end date. But if you're like me, you check it almost every couple days, then run it continuously, because you do have the power to stop it, say if it's not doing well or not. But be careful when watching your ad after 2 days and you say, oh, it is not doing well, because if you let it run through, sometimes it takes Facebook some time to get traction, and the ad do a really good job. A good example actually would be I ran a split test of 2 ads. One ad had 6 leads in like the first 3 days, and the other ad had 1 lead. Obviously, I could have ended the ad and I'm like, all right, putting my money into that, but I thought I'd give it a little bit more time. Waited to the 7-day mark, and both of the ads had 9 leads, and with a cost per lead of about $2. So I learned something. You know, I'm glad I didn't waste the time. I got, of course, more leads, and I also learned that that ad a pretty. I mean that test or that ad set was a pretty good asset. Okay. All right. So now we're on to the creating ad part. Now this is super important because this is where your offer is going to be at. This is going to be in front of the people that you are promoting to. All right. So since it's only a video view ad, only option we have is single video. You can do photo. Photo's good too. Don't think you only have to do video. Photo works pretty well too. But we're gonna upload our video. I think this is the right one, so we're gonna click this one. We're gonna let that video load real quick. Alrighty, now the video has loaded. Now here's a quick little tip, or what you really want to make sure you do: customize your video. All right, you want to customize your video, and you don't want to go to the thumbnails. Select the thumbnail, select something where you're smiling or it's a good video. Now, here's something I want to air you guys on the side of caution. If you're like me and you like to put words in your videos when you already edit them, they work really well because they capture people's attention. But Facebook has a 20% rule where only 20%, it has to be like 20% or less words on your video thumbnail. So what you want to do is you want to go to the original source file of your video and you want to screenshot it like I'm doing now. I'm sorry. You want to screenshot the part of your video that has no words, and then you want to save it. Sorry. You want to save it, and you want to then select that image. So the same video, and basically the part where you're in the video, you want to use it. I'll upload an image. Let's go to pictures, screenshots. All right, there we go. You want to use it because it has no words, and most likely the thumbnail is not seen, so it doesn't matter much, but it's just a way to prevent your ad from not being approved. Alrighty, and then once that's done, another important thing is captions. Now, I highly recommend adding captions because 80% of Facebook and Instagram users watch video without any sound. So you need to have those captions if you really want to target those 80%. And you just have a better conversion rate. Now, what you can do is you can upload your own, have Facebook do it itself, or generate the caption automatically. Honestly, none of them really matters, but if you want to make sure your captions are correct and you don't have the time to be doing it manually, I highly recommend uploading your own. And you can do that by going to this website right here, www.rev.com, and basically you can pay $1 per minute to get the captions made for you, and they do a really good job. They put the name of the caption, they put the great like commas and stuff. It works really well. I love using it. And then you can upload your file. This video already has captions in it, so I don't have to upload it, but you just select the file and then go to wherever the file is at and click the SR thing and upload it. But yes, that's what you have to do. So captions are very important. Alrighty, and then now the next part is the copy. Now copy is super important. It's like really important because that's what people most likely will be reading, and it grabs their attention. Now, there are certain ways to make copy. My next video will actually be on how to make copy. Now, just put the copy that you're using. Here's just quick tips I want to go over. You want to make sure your copy grabs their attention. It points out their problem that they may be having, and then it goes with it, and it starts to go into the solution / the offer. So as you can see, we'll start today, and first 50 athletes appointment gets 50% off. You want to add a sense of urgency. See, I have a limited only to 50 people, so people will actually make that action quickly. And then you want to have your call to action: click to learn more to get back to being a top athlete. And act fast. Just another reminder of that sense of urgency that they must act quickly. And then hold on, did that work? I'm sorry, I gotta go back and make sure my thumbnail worked. I guess it did not work. Here it is. All right. Sorry about that. Apply changes. Okay, so and then when it comes to the copy, you want to double check, and it's important to know you want to make sure what's above and below the fold. This is what this means is when below the or the more button, and you want to kind of keep something where it says we'll start today the first 50 athletes dot 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 dot. Kind of give them an interest, like, oh, what are they talking about? It makes them want to click that more button so they can get to that call to action. And say for instance that you're doing a video view ad that has, like me, that is driving them to a website so they can book. You want to add a URL, add that website or that URL where they can book that appointment. And it's very important when you add this website or URL, if you have a long URL, that you shorten it. So what you can do is go to bit.ly.com, BITLY. I'll also put that link in the description as well. And just simply copy and paste your URL. Shorten it, and then copy it. It makes it a very short URL, and it's still your URL, and then you put in a website URL so they know, and then go to display link just so that it pops up. It's optional. You don't have to put a display link. And honestly, for the sake of it, I'm not, just so people don't see bit.ly, but say if it says www.weneedmoney.com or something like that, you can add that display link if it adds that factor. And then you put a headline. I usually make my headline something like this. Click the learn more button to get back. That's too long, but just say, for instance, click more. All right, and I like to add an arrow, so I like to make a little makeshift arrow like so, just to grab the visual effects to people to know they have to click to learn more. And then add a newsfeed link description. This kind of comes below, very important too, and you can kind of repeat it or add something catchy. It's very important to take the time to think of what would be catchy and what would be not, and then you paste. And then call to action, and the call to action will appear right here, which is what they will be clicking to learn more. So you see, click to learn more. Now you have different call to actions: sign up, book now, download. For the most part, when in doubt, always go with learn more. People have tested it multiple times, and learn more just has the best conversion rate. You can do download. It just kind of depends, but I guess again, just test it. Test other ones that you want to try, and then that is it. This is your very first ad. And if you follow along, congratulations, you made your very first ad. Okay, guys, so really quick, I just wanted to recap with everything. So what we did is we created a Facebook page. That was the first thing we did. We chose our campaign, which was video views. So we chose video views as our campaign. And then once we done that, we chose our audience, and we refined our audience by going through detailed targeting and choosing a location and an age and all that. After that, we chose our placements. Again, remember to keep your placements on feeds only when starting off. And then you can test other placements as you go along, but feeds gets the best conversions. And do not forget to always click only connected with Wi-Fi. And then we went through our budget. Started off with $5 per day. And we also chose third play just because we wanted to get most views. But again, if you want 2-second continuous views, which will just play your video even if it's only being showed 50%, that's a good idea to pick as well. And then we went on to our ad. We chose our ad. I highly recommend using video. Video gets 50% more engagement, so that's very important. And then we did our ad copy. Don't forget the ad copy strategy. Use a hook, identify a problem, add a solution, and then put the call to action. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. If you found any value from this video at all, then please like, share, and please subscribe. And then for the next video I will be showing you guys how to make some killer ad copy. Again, my name is Brandon Mullins, and thank you again for watching the video.